Okay. Good morning to everybody. What a full house. This is amazing. So good morning to everybody here in the sanctuary, and if anybody's left at home, welcome to you too. So it's good to be with you. I'm Hilary Clark. I'm one of a team of worship associates who have the honor of serving South Church, along with our interim minister, Susan Sahusky Brown, and our director of Lifespan Ministry, Kirsten Hunter, and all our wonderful staff, those who are here in the sanctuary and those behind the scenes in the office. And today, this is her second day being here working with us, and we can't get the camera on her, but I don't know, IT guru? I'm not exactly sure. Okay. Our new IT guru is Ivory Bailey. So if you look back there, you will see her. So for the past 2 years, we've had a volunteer, and we've had Jen doing this, and it's so great to welcome Ivory. And there's a more detailed thank you in the order of services of all the other people who are in the background and helping to make sure services happen. Currently, we're offering one Sunday service here at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary, and we're also live streaming. If you need an listening device, you can access that at the back of the sanctuary. You can wave your hand to get an usher to get it for you if you need that. Okay, so today is an exciting day. Today we're meeting our candidate minister for the first time. So let me introduce to you the Reverend Ellen Quaadgras. Reverend Ellen Quaadgras is a minister, writer, and musician who cares deeply about issues of social justice and the power of spiritual community to transform our lives and the world. A graduate of Andover Newton Theological School, she's been serving Westminster Unitarian Church in East Greenwich, Rhode Island since 2012, and she is now thrilled to be here today with us as our candidate minister. So she will be providing our sermon today and the prayers. After the service, there will be a social hour out on the portico, and then at 11:45, there will be a Q&A here back in the sanctuary with Reverend Ellen, and it will be live streamed. Today, our time for all ages will be provided by Kirsten Hunter. After the story, all the children are invited downstairs to join Jen Del Deo for religious education. The music today is offered by Johnny Pfeiffer, Director of Music Ministry, Susan Adams, and members of the South Church Choir. And now we will have announcements by Kirsten.
How about now? All right, great. So we actually are going to have a few folks giving announcements this morning, kind of back to an old tradition, which we hadn't been doing for a long time due to COVID, but I'm going to start us off before that run of announcements happens. And I'm going to start us off with just a reminder that Shared Ministry is still recruiting for fellowship associates, worship associates, pastoral associates, social justice associates, and learning associates. Shared Ministry is a really excellent way to engage deeply in each of those ministries. So if you feel yourself called toward any of the 5 areas of ministry that happen here at South Church, I encourage you to consider joining one of the associate teams or applying at least. There have been a few applications that have come in this week. It really feels like folks are saying, you know what, I'm ready for a new experience at the church. So please consider that. And I'm going to invite our youth to come forward for an announcement.
Is this on? There we go. I and all of these people right here are members of senior youth, and we just have an announcement that after the service, we're going to be having a plant sale right outside. Each pot is $25, and we are also having a bazaar full of cookies and other South Church. It's not merchandise, but it's the closest thing that we have. And now, to tell you what the money's going to, here's Maggie.
Yeah, hi, I'm Maggie. The proceeds from this all go to the senior youth service trip. This year we're going to West Virginia. We've been learning about the impacts of the coal industry and how to show empathy and learning within communities. And we just love if you'd help us support us on this trip that we're taking this summer. Thank you.
Thank you, youth. Okay, and Lauren Katz.
Go senior youth. Good morning, and I am Lauren Katz, and with Sue Hubbard, we are the co-chairs of the 33rd Annual Pocket Garden Tour. And the Pocket Garden Tour is just weeks away, and now an amazing committee, who is spread out here, is ready to make this be a true South Church event. And that means we need all of your help. So, starting today, I will be outside somewhere out there doing sign-ups to become a garden host. A garden host is formally known as a garden sitter. We've changed the title. And so you can come and sign up today, or you can sign up in the coming weeks. And if you've been a garden host sitter before, you might get an email soon about that as well. So sign up on Sign Up Genius for one of our times. By the way, the Pocket Garden Tour is June 24th and 25th. We also need your help for baking cookies. And we have had a 2-year hiatus of being able to provide cookies on the garden tour, but it's always been a great way that this becomes a true South Church event, because everybody can bake cookies. To do that well, however, we do need some cookie wranglers. So we need a team of people who will not only get people to sign up, but then be here on the 24th and 25th to manage cookies and water along the tour. And I already have a volunteer for this, so you wouldn't be coming into it alone. So if you would like to help out on the 24th and or 25th, that would be great. And just on a side, volunteers are needed and are open to senior youth who might need some hours, or just because they want to be cool and hang out with me on a garden tour. But we do have specific volunteer opportunities for senior youth and up. And finally, tickets go on sale at retail locations and online on Thursday the 12th, and we will be here selling them after church on Sunday, and we can't wait to see you in the gardens. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Tanna Clews, and I have the honor of serving as chair of the Board of Trustees, and I am so happy to see all of you here today. I think you should give all of yourselves a round of applause. How many of you haven't been here in a year? Raise your hand. How many of you haven't been here in 6 months? How many of you haven't been here in 2 years? All right, well, it's awesome to see you. Thank you for being here. As you know, today is the kickoff to candidating week. This is such an incredible moment in time for our church. Not only that we're calling our candidate minister, who I know once you have a chance to meet her, you will love her, but it's also an opportunity for us to step into and realize this collaborative governance model we've been working towards for 2 years. So I am so proud of all of you for being here, and I want to give a special shout out to our collaborative governance leadership task force that's been working so hard the last few years, and our search committee who's been working for 2 years. I'd like to give them a round of applause, please. We have a great week in store, and our hope as a planning committee is that you will have an opportunity, many opportunities, to meet Ellen and to experience her ministry. As you heard, we're going to have a Q&A after this service, right after coffee hour. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a Q&A Zoom. The link will be coming out to you later today or tomorrow. If you have questions about the motion in the congregational agenda, or just want to learn more about the budgetary impact of hiring our minister and raising the salary of our DLM, join us tomorrow night. We have several Zooms that are going to be happening this week that you can join in: conversations with Kirsten and Ellen, conversations with Ellen, and they're all facilitated by a member of our planning committee or one of our volunteers. On Thursday night, we have game night and pizza, so bring your kids, or maybe you don't want to cook dinner, come, have some free pizza, and join us for a game. Saturday, we have bagels out in front with Reverend Ellen. And then Sunday, a week from today, is our congregational meeting where we'll have a chance to call Reverend Ellen. And I want to just say that although our bylaws call for 2/3 of our members to vote in favor to call a minister, you may know as you use that, in fact, we strive for 100%. Certainly 95%. And so what that means is that we need you all to show up, to come and listen and be part of the congregational meeting next week, and then vote for our new minister. Our votes, not an abstention, right? But rather a yes vote means that we are here to support our new minister and to truly step into this great new moment in time for the church. So you'll be seeing the schedule of events again throughout the week, but we're so happy to have you here today. Thank you.
Okay, that's it. We're ready to move on, and just watch your email this afternoon, because I will be sending the link to the schedule and another announcement from Tanna, and anything you need for Candidate Week will be in your email this afternoon. Here you go. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere.
As we light the chalice in the sanctuary, I invite you to light a chalice in your home. We light the chalice to a Native American prayer. Beauty is before me, and beauty is behind me. Above and below me hovers the beautiful, and I am surrounded by it. I am immersed in it. In my youth, I am aware of it, and in old age, I shall walk quietly the beautiful trail. So please stand as you are able and join me in reciting the mission statement as it is written in your order of service or on your screen. At South Church, we nurture spiritual growth through worship, learning, and community. We celebrate the worth and dignity of all people and inspire one another to act on our faith in the larger community. Thank you. After almost 30 years in my home, it's time for me to make a change. I know where I want to go, but I'm still unclear of how I will get there. But I am preparing. I'm taking my time sorting, cleaning, repairing, remembering. I've let go of so many of the obvious big things that no longer serve me. I am attending to things which have been bruised and battered, but are still important to me. And I'm letting go of things that are beyond repair. This month's theme, Nurturing Beauty, has been my guide. There are things I own that I chose because of what I consider their physical beauty. Photo of a snowy egret in flight, a print of a craggy Antarctic iceberg, an intricately embroidered Chinese Han day skirt. Other items I chose because of a more intangible beautiful essence of an object, an old pine table that holds the memory of my grandmother kneading bread every Sunday morning. 1960 black and white photos of ordinary people in China, Afghanistan, New Guinea, South Africa, India. The skull of a beaver. And then there is the beauty of the imperfect, which makes it perfectly beautiful. My children's bowls made in elementary school art, the patched comforter. I think about the process I'm going through as I review my life until now, as I decide what to keep and what to let go of. And I realize that South Church has been going through a similar process. We've spent, I thought it was 3 years, maybe 2, compiling an inventory of who we are and how we got here. We have chosen to continue with some practices and events and have let go of others. We've also instituted some new practices and events. And now we are ready to start the newest chapter of our church and our congregation. We, I say we, but really mostly the search committee, have done the hard work of evaluating ourselves and imagining where we want to go. And so here we are, about to hear from candidate Reverend Ellen Quaadgras. So let us begin. Please stand as you are able for our opening music, number 128, For All That Is Our Life.
Okay, so I'd like to invite anyone who would like to come hear the story from closer up is welcome to do so. I have a little prop for us. I was thinking about our theme this month, which is nurturing beauty. And I was thinking about how might we talk about nurturing beauty. I found this old window in my basement, and I thought we could do an art project. I was thinking about all of the things that make people beautiful, and about how a lot of those things are more than just the cool clothes someone wears, or their funky glasses, or a great smile they might have. But a lot of the things that make people beautiful are things that we don't necessarily see when we look at them. They're things that are inside of them. And I thought maybe we'd try out this art project to see if we could sort of visualize that a little bit and come to an understanding, more of an understanding about that.
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
But you look familiar.
You look kind of familiar too.
Who are you?
My name is Kirsten Hunter. I'm the director of Lifespan Ministries here at South Church.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And who are you?
Yeah, I'm Reverend Ellen. I'm the candidate minister.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Well,
too.
you know, I was just in the middle of this Time for All Ages.
Oh,
and
were
we
you?
about to do an art project.
Oh, okay. Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because that seems like a nice beginning to a very special week.
Hey, you're right. Because, you know, I think there's a lot of people here that are curious about who you are, Ellen.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
funny because I'm really curious about who you are.
Yeah.
And you, 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 and all of you. I'm really curious about who all of you are.
Yeah. So, well, what a coincidence. This is going to be the perfect thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's funny. This makes me think of something. I wrote a poem once.
Did you?
Yeah, it was Where I'm From poem.
Okay.
And it's a real favorite of mine. I actually brought
Yeah.
it with me.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
funny you should mention that because I've written one too, and I happen to bring it with me. Yeah,
There's
I
so
know.
many
I know the coincidences that happen
interesting.
in the spiritual world. It's amazing.
It's wild. So, so let's try to get this project started by sharing a little bit from our poems, just a few things maybe back and forth.
All right.
And what we're going to use some colored tissue paper.
Yes.
And I have some glue wash so that when we share something, we'll put it up on a window and just to sort of represent the thing about us.
Okay, so the color represents the story a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, do you want to start, Ellen?
Yeah, I do. I'm from Striped Backyard Swings and Let's Play Kick the Can.
I'm going to put that right here.
Yeah, please.
Ooh, cool. Check that out. Can I give that to you, Jen? I'm from Three Brothers.
I'm from moving on movies on bass and 5th grade tag football before it got banned. That was very sad.
I'm from Forts in the Woods.
All right. I am from riding the back of my Dutch cousin's bicycle.
Oh, nice. Wow. I'm from setting off on my own path.
I am from passports and Kodak and black and white film.
I'm from rugby games.
I'm from temples, clove incense, and blue batik dresses.
Ooh, beautiful. I wonder if anyone else wants to share some things with you, Ellen.
I would love to hear something from anyone else about where they're from or what's part of what makes you you. Maybe someone wants to share a few words and we can, yeah.
I'm from a pink gingham bedroom with a window seat.
A pink gingham bedroom with a window seat.
I love that visual.
Who else?
I'm from swinging around the poles in the parish hall when I was a little girl.
Oh, good memory. Swinging around the poles in the parish hall as a little girl years ago. Others? Just throw your hand up or call it out. Yeah. Ooh, say it again. A mother who loved laughter. Oh, a mother who loved laughter. Hooray for that. You want to help me? You want to help paint? Any others? Maggie.
I'm from Rainbows and Crazy Hair.
Rainbows and crazy hair. Excellent.
That's a wonderful place to be from.
Yeah, I saw a hand. Jen.
Blueberry muffins and the Golden Girls.
Blueberry muffins and the Golden Girls. I love it. Do you want to share a few more about you, Ellen?
Oh gosh, sure, I will. I am also from losing one home, but finding another. I am from bright rainbow flags and Audre Lorde posters. I'm from things fall apart and the places that scare you. I am from yoga and hiking, adventure and rain. It's because I'm from the Netherlands. I'm from rhythm and music and heartbeat and gravity, and I am from horizon and sky and can't wait for what's next.
Me too. I can't wait either. And I've noticed something, Ellen, as we've been putting these colors up and these different things about different people in our congregation, that as they blend together, it makes something new.
It does. It's like all of them together makes it even more beautiful.
Yeah. There's almost something shared about it.
There is. And I noticed that where they overlap, they change each other.
Yeah, like here and here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring this outside, and after service during social hour, come up and add something about yourself to this, and we'll have it downstairs. I actually have the perfect place in mind for it, and welcome.
Thank you.
It's lovely to have you. Thanks. We're going to call our kids out now.
I know you all are going to want to carry poems like this around too.
Just keep them in your pocket. You never know when you're going to need it.
Okay, now is the time for the offering, time for us to support all the good work and programs of this church and in our community. This month we will be sharing our plate with Lovering Health Center. Lovering offers a comprehensive menu of services related to sexual and reproductive health. They honor, respect, and advocate for the right of everyone to maintain freedom and choices. They welcome people of all genders, ages, and sexual orientations in a supportive environment. There are many ways to give. Please go to our website, southchurch-uu.org, for more information, or reach in your pocket right now, and we'll pass the plate. You can also go to the Lovering website if you'd like to donate directly to them. Please give as you are able. Your donation helps us to live our mission. The offering will now be gratefully received.
Now, I invite us to gather our hearts and minds in a spirit of prayer or meditation. Loving God, Spirit of life, energy of creation, Mother, Father of us all, it is good to be alive, to witness all that is beautiful in our world and inside of us. It's good to take time out to really notice whatever brightens our outlook and lifts up our hearts. Whether that is a fond memory of a mother's laughter, striped backyard swings, blueberry muffins, rainbows, or blue batik dresses in faraway places. It is good to nurture our connection to what is beautiful, particularly on Mother's Day, a day we set aside to open our hearts to joy and appreciation. At its best, mothering is a gift from parent to child and from child to their parent. Touching, moving, and changing both in ways deeper than words can express. And yet, we know in the day-to-day and from life to life, this bond can fall short of our ideals, sometimes painfully so. This, too, we must acknowledge. That place in the heart where joy and love and appreciation live is so very close to the place where hurt and sorrow live, too. We often find we cannot open to joy without also opening to pain, both in our lives and in the world. On this day that was originally called Mother's Day for Peace, may we acknowledge the pain that is around us as well as within us. The shocking leak of a Supreme Court brief, the heartbreaking, relentless destruction we witness in Ukraine, the suffering that is anywhere and too much everywhere. Through the ages, mothers have witnessed brokenness and its impact on their children, and they have prayed and worked for justice and peace. May we work for justice and work for peace in a world that needs both so badly. On this beautiful, special, important Mother's Day, may we open our hearts to joy, knowing that when we do, we must witness so much more. May we bring to that impossibly difficult, wonderful, painful, unquantifiable mix around us and inside us. May we bring compassion, love, maitri, kindness, an open heart to all that is. It is good to be alive. Together, may we hold it all. And I invite you now to come forward, if you like, and light a candle to represent the specific joy or sorrow that you are holding in your heart. And if you have something you want us to know about, please take a moment to write your concern on the pastoral care blue card in the pew. When you come to the table to light your candle, place your card in the basket and someone will be in touch with you. And I now invite you to come forward and light a candle if you choose that represents something in your heart. all these joys and sorrows expressed with a candle or held in our hearts, we honor them all. Amen and blessed be. Wow. It is so good to finally be here. I have been anticipating this moment for some time. You have been anticipating this moment for some time. And here we finally are. As I was preparing for today, I watched a couple of your services, including the one in which your search committee said some absolutely lovely things about me, which left me wanting nothing more than to impress you with the very best sermon I have ever written. After I polished it some more, and maybe just a little more after that. But then I remembered something Barbara Brown Taylor's mentor told her in seminary. Barbara Brown Taylor is a highly respected Episcopal priest who also happens to be a New York Times best-selling author. My beloved mentor had told me, she writes, that being ordained is not about serving God perfectly, but about serving God visibly, allowing other people to learn whatever they can from watching you rise and fall. You probably won't be much worse than other people, he said to her, and you certainly won't be any better. Love those mentors. But you will have to let people look at you. You will have to let them see you as you are. And I remembered what I really want to do is that. Listen to this Spirit and share that with you, for better or worse, up or down, polished or not. And that spirit of intuition said, you just want to get to know these people. You just want them to know you. So, tell your story, Ellen. Just tell your story. So here we go. I moved around a lot when I was growing up. I was born in the Netherlands, which is where my family's from. Then, when I was 5, we moved to New Jersey, where I learned English and gained this attractive yet indistinguishable East Coast accent. Thank you. Later, my family moved to South Korea for a few years, then Switzerland, where I went to high school. I think the search team may have shared some of that history with you. That upbringing enriched me in so many ways. I got to experience different cultures, different languages, different ideas, different ways of seeing the world. I feel like I have a little bit of each of those places inside me. That has been a gift. But at the same time, it was sometimes bumpy, moving from place to place. And it wasn't until much later I was able to articulate a deeper question I was left with about my identity. Am I Dutch, like my parents? Am I American? After all, the schools I went to were all American, but that's not where I'm really from. So, who are my people? Where do I belong? Where is my home? I felt unsettled. I tried to cure that uneasy feeling with food. That did not work. I was casting around looking for answers, and I was not really finding them. Fast forward to my mid-20s. I came out at the age of 24, and it was a very powerful experience for me. I felt like I found my people right there in the gay community. I found acceptance, I found a home, I found pride. And I found that I could sidestep a whole bunch of expectations that had been dogging me for years. I felt free. And I found a new vision for my life. I would find the right person, fall in love, and I would live happily ever after. Right? The next 10 years were full of growth for me. I grew career-wise. I lost a lot of the weight I had gained in my uneasy 20s. I deepened relationships. Things were pretty good. And then, in my mid-30s, I had what I like to call an early midlife crisis. The people around me were making big changes, getting married, getting partnered, or moving away. My own dating life was not leading to happily ever after. After a particularly significant breakup, I was hit with a flash of honesty. I became willing to see what it was in me that had been getting in the way. Things like perfectionism, fear of commitment, unrealistic expectations. And then I began to realize these were constraining me in every part of my life. I started to understand the idea that happiness is an inside job. I began to see that whether I attained my happily ever after had way more to do with me than anyone I had ever dated. But if that were true, I wondered, was it ever really about the gender of the person I was dating? And if it was never really about the gender of the person I was dating, was I even gay in the first place? And if I wasn't gay in the first place, then what about all those people? Were they still mine? Was the gay community still my home? Do I still belong there? Who are my people now? And all those expectations, when I defined myself as different, I had sidestepped all of them. I had said, I don't need to wear my hair like that. I don't have to wear my clothes that way. I don't have to live my life like that. Your mainstream rules do not apply to me. But if I'm not gay, and if I'm not different, then maybe they do apply after all, I thought. And I think I'm supposed to be married by now, with kids and a house and a 401k. Truth. It felt like the ground under my feet had shifted. Those questions and struggles from my 20s came back. The foundation, the story I had held onto about who I was and where I was going was dissolving from the inside out. A colleague once said, enlightenment is like being hit by a bus. When he got hit by the Enlightenment bus, he went to seminary. Ultimately, I did the same. I remember right around that time seeing the term wisdom literature and thinking to myself, that's what I need. I need wisdom. I did not know at first that this referred to a section of the Bible. If I had, I might not have been so eager, but I also felt like conventional wisdom could not help me. It was the beginning of me taking a fresh look at everything in my life, especially religion and ideas of God. I needed something much bigger than me and something much deeper, older, and more powerful than our culture to guide me. And it's been a journey that led me back to church, to seminary, to Unitarian Universalism, and ultimately right here to you, this special community in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So you may be thinking, actually, I have no idea what you're thinking. We have all heard our share of coming out stories, but what is this? Coming in, coming back, coming over? I don't know what to call it. Although I will get back to that question later in the sermon. But whatever it is I'm doing, here we are, in this moment, together, with various identities on various sides of various divides, all seeking spiritual enlightenment, hopefully not in one fell smack. But seeking something to guide us in whatever complexities we're facing, in our own uncertainties that we're experiencing, seeking something when our own stories stop working for us. Because we all go through changes. Life comes with these in-between places where things that used to feel a certain way no longer do. When who we used to be no longer fits quite right, when something shifts under our feet and we are not quite sure what's true anymore. Whether that's a divorce, an illness, a marriage, retiring, graduating, a new job, loss of a loved one, getting fired, coming out, coming in, a pandemic, or some other change we never quite imagined. It can be disconcerting. But it can also be eye-opening, heart-opening. It was for me. The poet Rumi offers these words. Your task, he writes, is not to seek for love, but merely seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. After my post-breakup, not exactly come to Jesus moment, I began to see my barriers more clearly. I began to see that when I had claimed this fabulous new queer community as mine, my own experience was that I was also saying, this other group, you're not mine. I wasn't just escaping oppressive mainstream expectations. I realized I was using that identity to distance myself from a whole world of people. I began to see that my single-minded focus on finding acceptance in whatever group mattered most to me at the time prevented me from seeing a whole lot of other groups that matter too. It wasn't until I found myself in that in-between space of feeling like I belonged nowhere that I started seeing people I couldn't really see before. Like the woman who emptied the trash at the hospital where I worked, the new mother with the cranky baby on the subway, the elderly Hispanic woman at the Baptist church whose niece was in trouble. Suddenly, they felt like my people too, in a way they had not before. Ultimately, I stopped trying to find the place where I would finally fit and started learning, and oh, there is so much to learn, how I and others can create belonging together. Which brings me to South Church, this unique, wonderful congregation of people striving to create inclusive community. The history of this church indicates this is a place with social justice in your DNA, grounded in a commitment to see people our society systematically overlooks. This is a place committed to sharing your ministry, working together to bring the wisdom of your unique self to create something that is bigger than any single one of you. And this is a place willing to take some risks, to try something pretty new. No longer just following the expectations you were handed, but grounded in an anti-oppressive philosophy, you are figuring out together what a different way to lead could be. And we need that in our times. We need congregations willing to adapt and change. We need spiritual communities willing to take those risks, even if none of us knows exactly what is needed or how to do it yet. Okay, so there is still one loose end. If I were listening to someone else preach this sermon, I would be asking myself, okay, that's great, that's all very nice, but really, what's the deal now? Is she or isn't she? Gay or straight, queer or not, friend or family? What's the scoop? While a pragmatic friend blandly called me bisexual after I told her my story, as you've probably guessed by now, I have not been a big fan of labels, at least not for myself. While I've seen how for others claiming an identity moves them toward people, I had been using mine as a barrier. And I didn't want anything separating me from anyone anymore. In fact, for years I tried not identifying at all. And that kind of worked. But it also left me feeling a little hidden and a little separate in its own way, and like something important was missing. So here's where I am now. I've decided to claim them all. I am Dutch, I'm American, I am straight, and I am gay. They are all inside me, just like every place I've ever lived. They all inform what I see, who I am, and how I connect with anyone. And I take every part of me into the next chapter of my ministry and my life. And here's my hope for that chapter. I want to, in the words of Barbara Brown Taylor, follow God, or I'll say greater wisdom or greater love. I want to follow that imperfectly, but authentically. And I invite you to do the same. I invite us to continue seeking and finding answers deeper than the ones our culture offers us, using spiritual tools to dissolve the barriers to love, and creating something bigger together than whatever stories used to limit us. It is an adventure of living that I think will be interesting and challenging and beautiful, maybe even fun. Yes, I think it could be fun. My story is complex. I think it would be fair to say that it is unlikely to be representative of anyone else in any particular group or identity. But my hope is that by making room for more of my truth, there will be more room for all of yours. And my hope is that by taking the risk of being transparent right from the start, I will be able to be more present. I tell this story because it has pointed me to spiritual community and practice as a deeper answer when conventional wisdom comes up short. And my hope is that together we can make room for deeper, more inclusive, more life-changing ministry in an ever-changing, complex world, beginning right now, right here, this week. So, let's talk. I would love to hear more about each of you, who you are, where you've been, and what got you to spiritual community. I'd love to hear more about what you imagine, what you would like to create together here, and the risks you'd like to take to help make that vision come true. May it be so. Amen. I invite you to rise for our closing hymn, When Our Hearts Are in a Holy Place.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
May we trust the wisdom in each of us. May we hear our voices in each other's words. May we feel the power of our own and each other's faith. And may this shared ministry of South Church be transformative and beautiful. Amen. Go in peace.